boomerang. So that's number 7 on the year. That's 3 for today. We're off to a great start. Laying out on the ice, pretty fresh. We still got a lot of daylight left, so I have no clue what year this is, but I'd say 11. Unreal. Well, it's January 5th, 2020, and I was hanging some cameras in an area that I think my hitless buck prospect is hanging out, and I was just coming over to the other side to hang the other 2 cameras, and I look down and I see this beautiful shed. Well, it's just a hot spot for deer, I guess. You know, they got the cut corn, which these deer are hammering, and it looks like he either was coming down this path right here. Looks like he was coming down this path out of a good thick bedding area right there, or what he was doing is he was just bedding here, and either way would have been, you know, a very feasible thing for this deer to do. And that's the first one in 2020. Great way to start off the year, way earlier than I expected. I don't even have my GoPro, I'm doing this with my phone. Just found the second shed of the year, laying out on the ice on this little pond over here. It's under a tree right over there. I could see it from back up on the field edge. Didn't think it was actually an antler because it was on the ice. But this is an antler, there's no doubt about it. I don't know how he got out there. I hope you don't fall through when you go to get it.
I'm not going to get it.
You think about that. That thing would have sunk to the bottom. That's cool. That would have sunk to the bottom, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have. It's already chewed.
I can't. How is it chewed that bad already?
I wonder if someone threw it there.
All right, here we go. It's Saturday, February 8th, and we're going out to shed hunt for the first time this year. The place I'm gonna hit today, I got permission to shed hunt it about 2 weeks ago. So, looks like a great piece from an aerial view, and I know that there's some other hunting pressure that goes on in this area, is what he was saying. So what I was thinking was, you know, I'll try to get out there and beat everybody else out, beat everybody to it. Well, the good news is the sun came out and the snow might start to melt. This field edge looks amazing. This farmer's got a huge beans field back here. All these little fingers. I'd have to think that something's gonna drop here at some point this year, whether it's dropped already or not. Well, I was just coming around the edge of this field and came all the way around here. There's a lot of sign of deer, a lot of sign. And I'm coming up out of here and you can see this little open area. We just found shed number 3 for this year. I can see it right there. You can see the 2 tines on it. And there she is, look at that. Oh yeah. There's number 3 for 2020, look at that. It's a nice shed. Fresh. Undoubtedly, there's no doubt it's from this year. Look at that thing. And what he's doing is he's probably coming from his bedding area back in here somewhere. Came up through here, if he wasn't bedded somewhere around in here. Came up to get some beans and dropped it on his way. So that's number 3 for 2020, and we still got a lot of daylight left, so. Well, right now I'm on a really good looking spot. It's a south facing slope right here. There's no snow. Goes down to a crop field, which is corn this year. And I tell you what, this looks like a king's lair, but I still haven't found its crown. I mean, I'm finding big grubs everywhere. You can come down here and look. I mean, this one's just one of the few rubs that I found. And I mean, there's paths everywhere in here. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Just found number 2 for the day, number 4 for this year. I just came up over this hump right here. Got a south-facing slope. It's a good area. You can see that there's like the snow's melted right here. And I came right up here. And look at this. Number 4 for this year. That's a nice looking one. Doesn't look like it came off an old deer, but it's a beautiful shed. I mean, that's a nice looking shed. I'll tell you what, it's a nice 5-point. You can see once the split on that G2. And like I said, this is the first time I've ever shed hunted this property, so I have no clue what deer this is, but he doesn't look super old. Looks really fresh. Wow. We've been putting in a lot of time today and got number 2. So we'll go see if we can find the other side. We'll look around and maybe we'll be lucky enough to walk out of here with his right side. We still got some time left, so we need to get back to it. Well, at least it's not super cold. Just got number 3 for today. I seriously was looking, I was standing right here, came down this path right here, got a bean field right here. I came up right here and I was like, this looks pretty good for a shed. I mean, there's a house right there, mailbox, road right there. So I was like, maybe, you know, maybe not. Maybe it's too close to the road. I stopped, turned around, looked down, and there she is. It's number 3 for today, number 5 for this year. That's a pretty cool looking one. Nice buck. Yeah, that's a nice shed. It's a nice shed. He doesn't have much mass to him, but I tell you what, that's a nice shed, and that's 3 for today. So we're off to a great start here in 2020. I would guess that this is a younger deer just by the mass on his antler, but he's so tall that you'd almost have to think that he's at least 3.5, 4.5. Regardless, it's a great shed. Well, just got back to the truck. Checked my watch. It looked like I put in 12 miles today. So with 3 sheds after 12 miles, 1 shed per every 4 miles, that's pretty good average right now. It's still early yet. We're about to depart for the 2nd day of shed hunting here in 2020. Going to a place that I actually bow hunted a lot this year. There's a couple really nice bucks on this property. What I wanted to do was go check these field edges today, not get too aggressive on the bedding area, but just check around the areas that are kind of open where I don't think these deer are bedding, but I think they might be crossing or they might be feeding, to see if there's any low-hanging fruit. This property has a lot of nice bucks. There's like, it amazed me how many pictures of mature bucks were on this property. I'd never seen so many mature bucks on one camera. Yesterday was really good, 3 sheds. First day of really shed hunting. And we'll see if we can top that today. Not expecting it, but you never know, so stay tuned. Top last year, which I don't think we're gonna do, but if we want to have it anywhere close to last year, I gotta stay out and look, even in this crappy weather. The good news is it's not snow, and there's a chance it was gonna be snow, so the fact that it's rain is actually, I'm completely okay with this, because I was expecting snow today. So, well, it looks like I wasn't wrong today. I did find one. Look at this. Look at that. That is, that's interesting. Just a little guy. But I tell you what, the thing that's worth noting about that is that's not a hard find. I mean, that was just right off this grass field. I think that might say something about how hard this property is shed hunted. I mean, I bow hunted it, but I didn't know how hard it was shed hunted. And that's not too hard of a find. If somebody was, you know, just looking around the edges, they would have found that. So that's pretty good news. But that's number 6 on the year, and number 1 for today. The sun finally came out, and I just kicked up an old shed right here. It was down in the snow. It's chewed up pretty good. Boomerang. So that's number 7 on the year. And that's not very encouraging, because I've spent like all day looking for sheds, and now I'm second guessing myself because I just kicked one up. But to be fair, it was in the snow. So that's number 2 for today. Both have been old chewed ones. That's a sign that it's probably early. Still got a little daylight left. The rain stopped, the sun came out. We got about an hour left. We'll see if we can make something happen, but it's not looking very good. I mean, we've been at it all day, and 2 old ones, I guess. I cannot even explain how excited I am right now. I just found what probably is going to be the biggest shed of this year. This was my number 2 hitless buck. This is the buck I call Longhorn. He's an absolute freak. He's a mainframe. He's mainframe 10, but he's got 6 on his right side, so he's an 11. And he is an absolute stud. Look at that. That's a freak. He's way bigger in person than I thought he was. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Walk all day hoping to find just one of his sides. You know, just hoping to find something other than 2 old chewed up ones, which I was still fine with 2 old chewed up ones. But for the number 8 shed of this year is probably going to be the biggest shed of this year. This is the buck that I call Longhorn. I can't believe that. I had an encounter with him back in the bow season. I saw him up on a ridge behind a doe, and it was snowing so bad I actually didn't take my camcorder out. I had my camcorder out, but I didn't have it on the camera arm because it was so bad. But he is an absolute freak, way bigger in person than I thought. This has got to be one of my top 5 sheds of all time. I can't believe that. Oh my gosh. Walk all day. We got about 30 minutes of daylight left. 30 minutes to an hour of daylight left. You know, it rained for like 4 hours today, and just in the last hour I'm able to find the biggest buck that I had pictures of on this property, and what was my number 2 hitless buck from this year. You know, so there's a couple mature bucks on this property, but Longhorn was one that was just, looking at his body size, he was he just looked like an absolute cow. I mean, and that's why I decided to name him Longhorn. You know, it looked like he didn't have a neck. I mean, his neck flowed right into his body. He just looked like a Twinkie. And yeah, I hunted him hard. Really wanted to get a chance at him. What it looked like was he was back there somewhere. You know, there's a little bit of bedding area here, and I need to get going so I can check for the other side. But it looked like he was in this bedding area here. Probably came up, jumped this fence, and just popped it right down right here, going out to his food source. That is just unbelievable. You know, going from 2 busted up sheds, walking at 7 hours. I haven't even looked at the miles yet to finding Longhorn. So maybe we'll get lucky and find his other side. We don't have much time left, but I can't believe that. That is just unreal. Unreal. What a freaking, look at the color on him. Just a beautiful 6-point. Pretty fresh. Looks like that snow probably got to him. That's just a freak. Like I said, this has got to be one of my top 5 sheds of all times, if not top 3. I mean, straight out, I just need to quit talking. I need to find his other side. Sun comes out. I guess good things start to come my way, because that is just unbelievable. I still can't get over that. That is just so awesome. I mean, I might not sound that excited, but I'm whooped. Well, I looked everywhere for this other side, could not find it in the last 30 minutes of light I had left, so I want to go back another day to find his other side. Haven't checked how many miles I put in, but I have to imagine at least 15 today. It was an awesome day. You know, that was just unreal. Being that we found Longhorn, you know, that's one hell of a way to conclude this weekend.